Okay. All right. So let's get to the Royalq fundamentals. All right. That's our topic for today. My name is Julius. I basically come from Uganda. And special announcements. One, before I start. On the 17th of this month, at 7 a.m. East Africa Standard Time, I'll be traveling from a village to Kampala city, the main city of Uganda. And I'll be there to attend the event that will take place on that day. It will be end of year event of Royalq, so don't miss. That will be on the 17th. It will be, I think, this coming week. I'll be there basically. Now that put aside, on the 4th, 5th, and 6th, we have a 3 days boot camp that will take place in January in Uganda. If you are coming from East Africa, then you can be able to be part of that event. It'll be so powerful, incredible, so powerful, right? So powerful. All that we teach here online will be taught practically on that day. We shall also give you we shall give you an extra dose. This extra dose will be the metaverse experience. You learn about metaverse, which is the new internet. We are not talking to you that they're going to teach you how to metaverse and do what, but just want to share with you the future. We are not going to recruit you or promote anything. No, just have the metaverse experience, how it looks like, what is it all about. That's all, nothing much. Co-curricular activities, leadership training skills will be there. Co-curricular activities. Do you love boat cruising? Do you love swimming? Goat roasting. We already have 6 goats given to us. Goat roasting. What else am I forgetting? Beach soccer, volleyball. What else am I forgetting? All right, you'll be able to get yourself this Crypto Ambassador t-shirt, Crypto Ambassador t-shirt stroke Royalq, Crypto Ambassador the fast jumper, one of the best in the industry. You'll be able to get yourself the Crypto Ambassador wristband, the Crypto Ambassador notebook. In behind it, you'll have our Crypto Ambassador $1 million work plan. We have already designed it, and it will be back on your notebook. It'll be so incredible and amazing. See you there on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 4th, 5th, and 6th of January this coming year. Very incredible 3 days of total maximum knowledge. So if you have a goal of making $1 million and you're in Uganda, you can be able to join. You can be able to join. Let me take you. The group is still silent, but we are giving you we are going to be able to update you. The cost is on $100. The cost is on $100. Close up this. If you are interested to attend, you can tap on that link. We shall be informing you how you'll be able to pay. You must be able to meet your dues before this month closes. It's all about decision. Someone can say, me, I want Christmas to end. It's up to you. Anybody is free to make their decision of life. Me, I'm not in Christmas mood. Even on Christmas, I'm working. I have non-stop business because I only have 13 months to create a life that I deserve. Christmas has been here. It has been here. For me, it has been here. I've eaten more, and I want the ones that will come in future to be bigger than the ones I've faced so far. So when I speak to some people and they tell me we are in moods of ending the year, I also ended last year. Even this year is here. So it's everyone has a decision to decide what they feel about year ending. Either you go into festing around or you focus on what you are chasing in the world and have a better Christmas next year. Life is a choice, all right? So it's up to you. I remember last year, some people are still jubilating and we are making serious money. So I was speaking to another person and was telling me, Julius, you see, our business will go down because people are focusing on Christmas. It's how you think. It's all about mindset. Me, I see things differently, but if you can decide to see things differently, you can have different results. Okay, now Royalq fundamentals. What are some of the basic fundamentals? Everybody must know when they join Royalq. Very, very important. If you don't know these fundamentals, your approach to the business will be wrong. If you don't know these fundamentals, your approach to the opportunity will be wrong. If you don't know these fundamentals, your approach to making money will be wrong. If you don't know these fundamentals, the ability for you to stay in Royalq will be minimal. Now, what are these fundamentals I'm talking about? One, why do we trade? Why do we trade? So many people, when you ask them why they trade, they have an answer: we trade to make profit. So many people, when you ask them, ladies and gentlemen, why do we trade? Their answer is we trade to make profit. But the approach should be different. The reason why we trade, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we trade to accumulate so that when the market goes down, we buy more, so that when the market goes high, we sell and make more money. That is the reason why we trade. We don't trade to make profit. We trade, ladies and gentlemen, to accumulate. That's why we have what we call margin calls. I personally get annoyed to anyone who picks a signal and doesn't bring in margin calls. Let me drop an example before I get started. Okay, yesterday, maybe I dropped a signal. Let me just come back here. I came to my trading view. I usually don't take so much time to come here and analyze the market. Okay. So let me look for this coin. It was known as let me start with Comp USDT. I'm going to show all the three, even Zen. Beautiful. This is Comp USDT. What was the entry price? 39.10. 39.10. 39.10. 39.5, 39.6, 39.10. But that was the entry. And the signal had a drop of 5%. Which could be around there. Now, what does this mean? This means that you set your first call depending on your drop you put in. You set your second call. You set your third call. You set your fourth call. So how many calls you have? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why set up all these 4 calls? You want that whenever the market drops, your robot buys. Whenever the market drops, the robot buys. Whenever the market drops, the robot buys. Whenever the market drops, the robot buys. Maximum, minimum 4 margin calls. So that the robot adds the different areas it has bought, creates an average price, and a simple rise in the market enables your robot to sell and you get out of that coin. I want to use a statement. I hope it's not a good one. Someone should drop the feeling that if I enter from here, like this take profit was 2%, that the market has to rise automatically and give me my 2%. That's why the goal of trading is not to make profit. The goal of trading is to make sure that when the market's going down, we collect more coins, we accumulate more coins, we accumulate more coins, we accumulate more coins. So that when the market goes high, the robot can sell and we make more money. If you have understood what I've just shared why we trade, type 1 in the chat. If you have understood the reason why we trade, I'm going to go to how you put in the drop. But if you have understood the reason why we trade, you should lose the mentality of saying that when I enter the market, the coin will definitely go up. It is a wrong feeling. It's a gambling way of making money. It's a gambling way of making money. Someone gets all their $1,000, you put a signal on the group, they go put all their $1,000, bingo, waiting for 2%. The market does the opposite. Sweet! They are everywhere. Floating loss is killing me. Oh my God. Had I known about Royalq? Royalq is a scam. They even come on YouTube. They make videos. Had I known, I'm losing all my money. Oh God, help me. This thing is losing my money. I better find something better. It is lack of information. I was listening to some of my leaders this week who are telling me, Julius, we have a better robot. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, can you explain? This robot, we are telling you it is the best, better than Royalq. I said, I'm listening. Why is your robot unique from Royalq? One, it does not have floating loss. Okay, I'm listening. Two, it puts all your money once in the market. I'm listening. And when the market goes against you, it sells and you lose something, but you don't stay in the market long. I told him you have a mental problem. You don't understand what is crypto trading. Then he said, you younger boy, I'm older than you. I said, it's okay. This is not age. This is knowledge. I get my $1,000. I buy Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin goes down. Then the robot sells at a loss so that I don't stay in the market longer. Then I'm losing. It means that this robot brings in the idea of impatience to people. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the reason of trading in the spot market is accumulation. Because the market always recovers. The reason of trading in the spot market is not profit. You want to collect more coins as the market is floating down, so that when the market gets a simple rise, you are able to sell and get out of the trade. That is the reason of trading. Okay, now, before I continue with the reason, I'll share at last how you can be able to set up the drop. But let me go to which market do we trade in? Which market do we trade in? It's very, very important. Before you go outside there, to know which market are you investing in your money. We have several markets in the trading industry. People trade forex, people trade derivatives. Just a minute. I see my phone is trying to misbehave. You buy a phone, the phone wants to misbehave. It forgets that you are the owner. We have the spot market. We have the margins. The margins that people trade, you have features. But the reason why Royalq is good and it focuses on the spot market is because Royalq understands that whatever you buy, you own it. Whatever the robot buys, you own it. That's why I say, don't go borrow money and bring it to crypto. This is not gambling. Someone sleeps at night, dreams becoming a millionaire. He says, I know of this lending company that lends money. It is time. It is time. These signals, Julius and Mr. Deusi and others keep on dropping. It is time. Bye-bye poverty. Every signal, I will put in $10,000, $10,000. Hey, and I can imagine. You see, when someone analyzes a coin and it has delivered 5%, 10%, and someone posts, imagine you had put in 5,000, then you start saying, what is 4% of 5,000? You see how much you would reap. Then you say, hey, using these signals, I'm going to become a millionaire. Then you go to a bank or a money lender. You borrow money. You go to your Binance account. You buy USDT. You start even moving like a king. Now, the first signal delivers, you make $300. You say, that's what they are talking about. That's what this is all about. Second signal, Yeah, you hit it. $100. He says, wow. When you put all of it, things work out. Third signal, it works out. 250. I say, 250, 500. You are smiling. Everything seems like it's working your way. You see how you're going to hit back what you borrowed. Next signal, YFI. It goes to, it's like I speak right now, Wi-Fi is at $1,333 from 1,880 something. Everything keeps on. My leader. I'm supposed to pay the bank next week. Oh, yes, save me from this burden. I borrowed this money. The banker is going to kill me. Oh, the profit and the money that I had put in Wi-Fi is in floating. Save me, my leader. Royalq is a bad business. Oh, they're going to take my land. They're going to take my car. My leader, my children, you will no longer have to eat. Please stop crying. I'm not your savior. Don't bring borrowed money. Don't bring borrowed money. Someone invested close to $7,000 in BTCST. It was at $41. $5. Hey, my leader, they are listing with BTCST. You need to save me. Please. I'm not a savior. I'm not Jesus Christ. We don't control the market. It's a bad practice for you to put a high fast buying amount with an intention to profit huge. It is important for you to start with a very low fast buying amount. Very low fast buying amount. I want to repeat myself. Very low fast buying amount. If you have $500, I want to repeat my statement. Start with $15. Understand the power of accumulating as the market is coming down. Now, this is the challenge. My leader, you see the other time I put in $15 and the market rose to 2%, I missed out more profit. Now, don't focus on how much you make when the market goes up instead of it going down. Look at how much you will remain floating when the market that was going up decides to go down. That is where I want your mentality to move. But whatever we buy in Royalq is basically in the spot market. It's basically in the spot market. And we have nothing we lose because whatever we buy, ladies and gentlemen, we are able to have it in our spot market, our spot wallet, and we have nothing to lose. And we have nothing to lose. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things you need to understand, it is risk management. When we buy crypto, we own the crypto. This doesn't happen in any other markets, even in commodities. You see, one of my friends was telling me, Julius, you see, I'm a gold trader. Yes, sir, you trade gold. Good. So you are busy in the market trading gold. Then he told me, I don't understand your mindset. Every time crypto, you come here in gold, we own gold. I told him, my brother, my friend, this is just online gold. You don't own it. It can vanish. When this market goes against you, let me pray one day it goes against you. So God favored me. This guy was over bragging. 2 weeks ago, the market went against him. So I knew it had gone against him. So I gave him a call. Oh, my brother, the gold trader. How are you, sir? My friend, we are in puzzle. Everything is, I don't say anything. I told him, that's why spot market, spot. When you buy your YFI and it goes down and you have your one YFI, you still have it. It has not disappeared. Your ability to remain patient until the market will return is what determines your ability to profit if you don't have more capital. People usually tell me about floating loss. People usually ask me, I wouldn't be here because by the time I joined Royalq, BTC was at $67,000. Now it is at 16. So should we crucify ourselves? Should we crucify ourselves? Because it has been on a wrong run coming down up to now. Now, the reason why we are still here is because we understand that whatever you buy, you own. The other reason why most of you will not be successful, I'm sorry. You don't allow failure. Someone fails today, he says, now I'm done. I have failed 2 times, I'm done. Now he goes to another thing. He fails there. So every time you are starting over, you start over until you get in your grave. Better understand that the setbacks you get on your journey to become successful are important for you to become successful because you learn from your mistakes and never do them again. I know people now are leaving because they want me to say good things only. But I'm sorry. I don't want to only be just sugarcoating everything. Sometimes I speak reality. Now, having understood why we trade, having understood which market we are dealing with, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about which type of a robot is Royalq. Which type of a robot is Royalq? It is important for someone to understand which type of a robot is Royalq. Now, there is someone disturbing me. That's why I'm silent. Let me tell you, never follow anyone who doesn't know what they want. Now, there's something happening in Malaysia. Let me just talk about it. There's a return on investment company that has been started. I know certain leaders will join. And they're giving some stupid offers. One, $1,000 to your account. Two, paying, is it a 4-star, 5-star hotel, 3 days? 3 days. What else are they giving? A free ticket. They're giving me 5 free tickets. They're giving me, let me see, 5 free tickets, $1,000 for enjoying. Then I go to Malaysia and I listen to their return on investment. Then I come back. We are Africans. We are over that mindset of promising us to take us abroad. Then we come back. If you are here, I'm past that mindset. You cannot disturb my future because of taking a flight. What is taking a flight? What is taking a flight is a normal zone. I was so excited when I was still in product companies with a broke mindset. But someone paying for your ticket of maybe $2,000 or $1,500 is downgrading your integrity. So leaders on this call, please, if you are invited, abscond. Focus on the goal, have your skills, make money. Done deal. I hope the person gets off of my WhatsApp. I'm not interested. Let them eat their $1,000. Taking a flight is a cheap thing. I can make money in Royalq Tech myself, right? Even I have that money in my account. So please leave my chat. If you are here, leave me alone. I will not come. I don't want. Now, which type of a robot is Royalq? The type of a robot, because when you understand what you are using, you use it better. When you understand what you are using, you use it better. When you understand what you are using, you are not driven by excitement. When you understand what you are using, you become intentional to all the decisions you carry out. Right? It's very important. Now, one, Royalq is a martingale robot. Royalq is a martingale robot. Now, what is martingale? Martingale means that whatever the robot has bought, it sells it at once. Whatever the robot has bought, it sells it at once. Now, let me try to share my Royalq. And let us talk about that a little bit, just a little bit. No season. I'll never go away. People keep going. Me, I understand there are days I'll make little, there are days I'll make much. Okay, now let me talk about atom. Now, when we talk about martingale, we mean that when it comes to the margin call configuration, this one. When it comes to the margin call configuration, okay, now we need to just talk about two things: margin call configuration and margin call limit. This is how the robot distributes your money. So the minimum margin call someone can have could be 4, although I would recommend 5. The margin call limits minimum, I would recommend 5. I'm going to give you reasons. But when we come to the margin call configuration, whatever the robot buys in margin call number 1, margin call number 2, margin call number 3, margin call number 4, if the market rises, it sells it at once. That is what we mean by martingale. Whatever the robot has been able to accumulate in 4 margin calls, once the market rises, it sells it at once. This is what we call martingale robot. Now, grid robot is making margin call number 5 to margin call number 5 to margin call 999. Each call is independent, and that's what we call a grid bot. If you have understood that, type a 1 in the chat. I'm going to go detailed a little bit, but if you have understood that, type 1 in the chat. If you have understood that, type 1 in the chat. If you have understood that, type 1 in the chat. You needed to know that when your robot buys margin call number 1, when your robot buys margin call number 2, when your robot buys margin call number 3, when the robot buys margin call number 4, when the robot buys margin call number 4, ladies and gentlemen, whatever it has bought, it sells it at once. Now, from margin call number 5 to margin call 999, every call the robot buys is independent. Now, let me clear the space. In exchanges, we have robots. In your Binance, you have a robot. In a hobby, there is a robot. But let me explain what is the difference between the robot in Binance to the robot in hobby from the robot in Royalq. Because I needed to clear space. Because some people, when they start, I was on YouTube yesterday. Someone sent me a link and told me, Julius, Royalq is fake. Why? Because there are better robots in Binance and hobby. I told him you have a mental disability. You don't know. Lack of information will kill you. The robots that are in Binance and hobby are called grid robots. What is a grid? Let me go there for today. I'm not spoiling you, but I'm showing you reality. Let me go there for today. Because when someone drives you with no information, he can kill you. Okay, let me go to more. Okay, when you come down here to more and you come here on trading, Binance has what you call trade strategy. I'm not going to mock trading, but let me just keep here. Now, when you come to trade strategy, like you're gonna see, just give me. Now, What we have opened now is what they call a grid. Now, you see, there are future grids and there are spot grids. Now, let me open the spot grids, because you know in future grids, when the market goes against you, your robot loses everything. Now, let me go to this is now a spot grid. Now, when you set a grid, you can set it for 7 days, for 30 days, or for 180 days. Okay. Now, what do? You choose a pair you want to trade. You give it the lowest price and the highest price. And according to that, they give you the number of grids, right? I won't go into details about this. And you put in your investment. When you put in your investment, grids are like lines. So the robot will open up 35 grids. Now, once the market starts from here, once it buys here, once it buys here, it sells here. Once it buys here, it sells here. Once it buys here, it sells here. But it does not close position. Closing position, I mean sell everything. When the market keeps on going down, then you need to come and widen your grids and just widen your grids, have them more. But the reason what makes Royalq unique is that Royalq is a grid robot in what we call sub-bin mode, real-time settlement. In real time, buys here, sells here. Buys here, sells here. Buys here, sells here. This is what we call the grids. And these grids in Royalq are from margin call number 5 to margin call 999. And for these grids to work for you, your strategy mode must be in sub-bin mode, real-time settlement, like I've said. But Royalq has what we call the sub-bin mode. I'm going to show you that. That once the robot buys here and sells here, it does not return the profit. It returns the capital. Then it uses the profit to move the average price closer. These guys, I'm not interested. I can call you as if you going abroad is a big deal. Me going abroad is not a big deal. I need to block them. Sorry, I'm sorry. I want someone who disorganizes me. I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. These are grids. Buys here, sells here. Buys here, sells here. Buys here, sells here. Buys here, sells here. But it cannot close position. But the sub-bin mode of Royalq, it buys here. It sells here. It uses the profit to move the average price closer to the current price. If you have understood me, type it in a chat. If you have understood me, type it in a chat. The only difference between the robots in exchanges and the robot in Royalq, that the robot in exchanger cannot close a position. It cannot close a position. Yes, it buys, sells. It buys, it sells. Yes, it buys, it sells. But what makes Royalq unique is the sub-bin mode. That once it sells, it uses the profit to move the average price closer to the current price, that when the market rises, the robot can sell everything and you get out of that coin you are trading. That's the difference. So when you pick up a SIGIN, you understand this is martingale. For example, if you pick up a signal and the signal says 5% drop, 5% drop. This is what this means here. That you are going to make sure that these drops, when you add them up, they're equal to 5%. So one person might say, my first drop will be 0.5. My second drop will be 0.5. Then this is 1%. Then I'm remained with how much? With 4%. Now the 4%, 2 will come here on the third call, and 2 will come here on the fourth call. This means 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5%. You are focusing on the first 4 margin calls, so that whatever the robot buys, it can sell it at what? At once. If you have understood that, before I go back to something else, type a 1 in the chat. If you have understood the drop, if you have understood the drop, your drop must be focusing on the first 4 margin calls. That whatever the robot has bought, the robot can sell it at once in using what you call martingale. There is no martingale in Binance. It's only grid. It's just grid robot. Now, Royalq is a martingale robot from margin call number 1 to margin call number 4. Royalq is a grid robot from margin call number 5 to margin call 999. Let me come back again. Let me come back again. Now, if your robot fails to sell here and the market goes against you, you need to be able to have what we call wallet management. For example, if your first buying amount, this area has 2 parts: margin call drop, multiple buying ratio. This multiple buying ratio moves with sequence with the first buying amount. This multiple buying ratio, it moves with sequence with the first buying amount. So let me first confirm this. If your first buying amount here is $15, understand that this will mean 15 times 2, which means this is $30. This will mean 15 times 4, which is $60. This will mean 15 times 8, which is 120, which will mean 15 times 16, which is 204, which is this one is close to $500. So it means that you must have the $500 to press in this. This is what we call double up, 2, 4, 8, 16. And this is the easiest way anyone can get out of any coin. Why? Because whenever it buys, it moves the average price closer to the current price. Average price closer to the current price. So a simple rise in the market, the robot will be able to sell and you'll be making profit. Now, you can change, instead of using that, use 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a +1. This will be 2 times 15. This will be 2 times 15, which is 30. Then the next one will be 15 times 3, which is 45. Then it will be 15 times 4, which is 60, which will be 15 times 5, which is 75. So 75 plus 60 plus 45 plus 15 plus the first 15, which is $210. Now, this is what we call a +1. If you cannot afford the double up, maybe you can afford the +1. When you come and here, put 1. Put 1. The average price will not be moving closer to the current price. It will be like you are keeping buying the same amount of money. Yes, you'll be increasing on the quantity, but the average price will not be moving closer to the current price. So the best way of martingale is 2, 4, 8, 16. This is the best way. If you cannot afford this, then you can do Fibonacci, 2, 3. Then here we shall say 2 plus 3 is what? 5. Then we shall say 5 plus 3 is what? 8. And you need to know how much is this? 2 times 15. This is 30. This is 45. You must know what is 2 times 15. It's 30. What is 3 times 15? It's 45. What is 5 times 15? 75. What is 8 times 15? 120. So 120 plus 75 plus 45 plus 30 plus 15. This is 285. You must have this money you are putting in your exchange. If you have understood martingale and how to set it up, before I go to the other side, type 1 in the chat. If you have understood martingale. If you have understood martingale, type for me 1 in the chat. So you must know how your robot works. That is the martingale strategy. Now, from margin call number 5 to margin call 999, it's a grid robot. Meaning, whatever the robot buys, it can sell it independently. Whatever the robot buys, it can sell it independently. It is important for you to know that from margin call number 5, whatever the robot buys, it can sell it independently. So how do you approach such an idea? There are different ways. I'm going to give you several. If you're already in floating loss and your robot has bought the first 4 margin calls, you now have a new opportunity. Why? Because margin call number 5 is independent. Up to margin call, I can put here 999. They are all here. All these, each call is independent. What limits you is your capital. They are here. Someone may want to see they are here. The last call is 999. So you can say, my robot has bought 4 times. The market has not sold. Depending on the manner I exposed to the market, I have power to open other margin calls. And that's where I'm going to talk about wallet management. And now you say, maybe now you understand that this is a grid robot. When the robot buys margin call number 6 and the market rises, it can sell margin call number 6. Either if I confirm this and I save it, what did I do? Data execution error. Let me just reduce them. Okay, now here on the strategy mode, when you put in the whole warehouse mode, even if your robot buys 100 times, Even if your robot buys 100 times, it will not sell because it is in the whole warehouse. It wants to sell everything at once. So if you put in the sub-bin mode, you are telling your robot, buy margin call number 6. But once you make the profit and you have sold, use the profit to move the average price closer to the current price. So what the robot will do, it will buy margin call number 6. The market rises, it sells using your take profit you have put. It sells margin call number 6, but it will not give you your profit. It will not give you your profit. It will use your profit to move the average price closer to the current price, but it will return your capital. When you put in sub-bin mode real-time settlement, what does it mean? It means that the robot will sell margin call number 6, return your capital and your profit together. It will sell in real time. So now, it depends on what you want. If you want to sell the coin and get out of floating loss, then sub-bin mode is more better. Why? Because it will be moving your average price closer to the current price. If you want a profit in floating loss and be selling and getting your profit, then sub-bin mode real-time settlement is a better deal. If you have understood that, type a 2 in the chat. If you have understood that, type a 2 in the chat. If you have understood that, type a 2 in the chat. If you have understood that, type a 2 in the chat. So you now know that Royalq is a martingale robot. You now know that Royalq is a grid robot. You now know that Royalq is a grid robot with special features. The sub-bin mode, which you can use to move out of floating loss. Your robot sells, doesn't give you a profit, doesn't cut your fuel fee, or the sub-bin mode real-time settlement that you can use to make profit independently. Now, I want to now to go to, what have I talked about? Let me see. Okay, now I wanted to emphasize the point on how to use the sub-bin mode, the sub-bin mode real-time settlement. I want to emphasize the point of using the sub-bin mode real-time settlement. Now, if someone drops a signal and you have capital and you are in floating loss, you can still make money as you are floating. If someone drops a signal and you are in floating loss, you can still make profit on that coin that is floating, because this signal is just a new entry. For example, if I'm floating on YFI, USDT, let me first take you back here. Where is this coin? It is one that's doing very poorly. Because every time this coin can have a new entry. Now you see, this coin has a good entry here. I see this stochastic. Now there is someone like me who is floating here at 1,800. There is someone who is still trading this coin and is floating from their average price is 1,600. There is someone who's trading this coin and maybe you are floating at 1,400. And there is someone who might be floating at maybe $1,400. Now, someone sends a coin and says, enter YFI. Current price, let me say 1,335, and says take profit 4%. And I'm in floating loss. and maybe I have my $500 in my account and I want to use it. What do? I just come back here in my Royalq and I say, let me say this is Wi-Fi. And I say, my robot has bought how many times? Let me say it has bought, let me say my robot has bought 4 margin calls and they are over. I had put 5 because I said you need to put 5. Then what I will do, I will say, I want to open up now more 5. So I'll make it just 10. Then I'll say, depending on the signal, maybe the signal has a 5% drop. Because you see, like this coin, if it was me giving it, I'll look at its resistance area. I'll look at its support, sorry. I'll look at its support. Then I'll come here. If it was me, okay, I see there is a quick support here, which is a 5% drop. But I might be just wanting to be safe a little bit. And I give a drop of negative 23%. What I will do, I'll just go to the calculator. And I say 23 divided by 5. It is 4.6% drop. Then I just come in my margin calls here. From margin call number 5, I just drop in 4.6%. 4.6%. 4.6% up to the 10th call. Or I might say, 23 is too much. I say my robot 1%. When the market drops by 1%, 1%, that is 3. 1%, this is 5%. 1% now. Then I say 23 minus 1%, minus 4% is 19. Then I say, how many margin calls have I remained with? 1, 2. Then I say 19 divided by 2 is how much? 9.5. Then I put the other rest of 9.5 here. Then I'll divide my capital into these margin calls. And when the market rises, it buys, it rises, it gives me profit. It buys, it rises, it gives me profit. It buys, it rises, it gives me profit. I'm floating, but I'm still trading this coin at a new entry. Then it is up to me to either put in the sub-bid mode real-time settlement or in the sub-bid mode. Does that make sense? Never put less than 5 margin calls. Does that make sense? I don't know if it is making sense. All right. So you can open more margin calls. That is where you are opening multiple. But if you want to open still one margin call, you can go and put in a drop of margin call number 6 only. The robot buys it, sells it, and gives you profit because each is independent. Oh, that one I'm done. Let me go to what is floating loss. This was my biggest problem when I started Royalq. Floating loss, all my coins are in red. What is floating loss? And why do I think no one should get worried about floating loss? Let me just use this example. No. Peter goes to the market for his first time to buy gold. And Peter gets 100 grams of gold. 100 grams of gold at a price of $10,000. Today is 12th of December. Peter goes back to check the market on the 13th of December He finds his account still has 100 grams of gold, but the price of gold is now $9,000. Peter goes back home, very annoyed. Peter goes back still on the gold store on the 14th. He still has 100 grams of gold, but the price of gold is now $8,000. Because Peter listens to other people than learning what to do, Peter decides to sell. It means that Peter has sold at what? At a loss. Immediately, Peter has sold. He decides to go back tomorrow to check up on the gold. Peter finds that the gold is now $15,000. But Peter has already sold his gold. If you were Peter, how do you feel? I need some answers in the chat. If you were Peter, how would you feel? I need some answers in the chat. If you were Peter, how do you feel? If you were Peter, how do you feel? I need some answers in the chat. If you were Peter, how do you feel? Okay. Now, Stephen goes to the market to buy gold. He also buys 100 grams of gold today. Then at $10,000, Stephen goes back to check the market on the 14th and finds that he still has 100 grams of gold. That's very important. But the value of this gold now is $5,000. Stephen said, since I still have my 100 grams, I'm not selling. On the 18th of December this year, which is in the future, Stephen gets back to check his gold and he finds that his gold has risen to $20,000. The following are the choices of Stephen. One, the following are the choices of Stephen. One, either to sell the gold, lose the 100 grams, and get the 20K, or to stay with 100 grams of gold and maybe miss out on the 20K that is there now, or to keep his 100 grams longer. Maybe in the future, the value could rise to 50K. At first, Stephen was at a floating loss. But now here, Peter is at a floating what? A floating profit. It's up to him to decide to lose his asset and get the dollars, or to keep the asset. Maybe the asset would still appreciate in value. Now I have a question. Is floating loss the problem, or the people using the robot the problem? Is floating loss the problem, or people who use the robot the problem? I need some answers. Is floating loss the problem, or the people who use the robot the problem? Because you have a choice, either to sell or to stay in floating loss because the market will return. Floating loss is not the problem. Because you remain with your asset. Today I have the answers. Now, I want to answer this next question. Then I come to the end. I go into your questions. What is dollar cost averaging? I want to answer what is dollar cost averaging. I want to answer what is dollar cost averaging. Some simple mathematics. This is going to get a little bit hard, but we go. Dollar cost averaging, DCA. Peter has a capital of $1,000. He wants to get started. What Peter does, Peter is given a signal. He drops in all his $1,000 and wants to take 2%. Unfortunately, this coin called the Chu, when Peter joined this coin called the Chu, was at a price of $100. And Peter expected that if he puts in his $1,000, it means Peter would sell at a price when this coin is at $1,002. But unfortunately, this coin goes down up to $25. The reason why this coin cannot sell, because the current price and the average price they are going to see how it is formed is far from the average price. And Peter is at a floating what? A floating loss. If Peter doesn't have any capital, Peter has to wait until the coin will return to 100 what? To $100. If you have understood this first example, type a 1 in the chat. If you have understood this first example, type a 1 in the chat. I want to go to now how to use dollar cost averaging. How to use dollar cost averaging. All right, thank you, beautiful. Happy to work with you. I want to come to the end of the call very, very fast. Now, in our Royalq, we have 3 important parameters that everybody must be looking at very closely. For example, here we have the position amount, the total amount of money that someone has invested in the coin. We have the position quantity, the number of coins someone has been able to buy. We have the average price, which is always the average price is the amount divided by the quantity that has been bought. Which creates the average price. The robot automatically divides the amount divided by the quantity. Now, these are important. These are very, very important for the success of a trade. And let us now go into them a little bit more detailed. What's up? It's disturbing my whiteboard. I'm sharing. No, please, no, please, no, please. Okay, good. Okay, so here just bear with me. I sometimes also don't know how things change. Things are not working in my favor. I don't know. Just bear with me a little bit. You go. Wait, let me with this guy that is calling me everywhere, disturbing me. I'm not interested. If my phone. Just wait, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Things are not working in my favor and someone is calling me, but okay, let me find something else to use. I may not be able to teach this topic because if I don't share my screen and be able to write, it's harder. But okay, let me try the last time. All right, it's not working out. But then I think next time better. I would love to talk about dollar cost averaging, but next time better. The good thing I talked about how to trade. It's not working out. All right, it's not working out. Maybe next time better. Let me see if I use this here. Just let me see if this works out. If it fails, then next time better I'll be able to talk about this. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop this. This is I don't know what's happening, but I don't have contra about it. When I try to write, disappears. Okay. These are usually some internet issues that I cannot handle. Right. Next time I'll talk about dollar cost averaging method. Let me now go into your questions. All right. Let me go into your questions. Okay, let me see some questions here. What happens if I add capital on a coin which is floating? Depending on how much you are adding. If you want to use the buy area, make sure you are either doubling the money you are putting in. If you had invested $1,000, make sure you either putting in $2,000, all right? Or you are putting in the exact $1,000. It can help move the average price closer to the current price. But if you're not putting in too much money, you are doing nothing. Okay. Say it has bought 2 margin calls. How do I make money? Open up to minimum 4 margin calls. That's when you can open the 5th margin call. I think next time I'll be able to go into the I'll be able to go into the dollar cost averaging method. How you need to start small and understand the power of starting small and keeping on increasing your capital down the line helps to bring the average price closer to the current price, help you to get out of the market faster and be able to profit better, right? So that's why I advise anyone to start with as low capital as possible. That said and done, ladies and gentlemen, allow me come to the end of this call for today. The recording is available. Let us catch up. Let us catch up. You just need to go, if you want to do this, just go and if you want to buy Bitcoin as a longer term investment, go and trade BTC pairs. You go and trade BTC pairs. You go and trade BTC pairs. Check out a video on the Crypto Ambassadors YouTube channel that talks about BTC trading. Go and trade BTC pairs. Go and trade BTC pairs. Go and trade BTC pairs. So that you can collect Satoshis along the line. All right. Let us catch up, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow. God bless you. Have a nice day. Sorry, I'll be offline for some hours. All right. I'll be offline for some hours. I'll be heading somewhere. I don't need to announce, but I'll be offline some hours. Please bear with me. I wish you all the best and happy trading. Happy week. Happy week. I understand the market could be down, but I understand that the market will come back. That's all. So God bless everyone. Have a nice day. Till we meet tomorrow. It's a bye from my side. And I wish you all the best.